Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, living, amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda, hero of psych defender of the farmland of Hill Bomby One on Amilly Roads, with my co-host, Basil the kitty cat, currently purring loudly on top of me. So there's some, like, burring sound or something. That would be the cat purring. Anyways, Amilly Fields added with the map update in north of this Orangepest fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Orangepests taking on the role here with the first Army Division with mechanized company, Recon support and heavy cavalry. Double rifle start here as the south. That is Iroha fighting for the Oberkommandist Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 17th SS Panzerdivision Goods von Balikingen. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons and supporters. These champions, these heroes are keeping the business. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. You can also just donate. Links in the video description. Also, comment, like, share, subscribe. Press the bell button. Please the kitty. We're moving westwards here, moving straight for the railroad there. Eastwards, we've got Ralph's Court there. In the west, southwest, we've got Iroha moving forwards there for Deutschland, with Volksgrüne Sturmpioniere leading the way here. Come on, men, we gotta get moving quickly, as Americans will get there before us. Are you sure Jorgens is so fat? I'm fairly certain you don't get any exercise over there. Ralph's got eastwards there. Ralph's got southwards. Very good stuff there. Sturmpionier advancing. Volksgrüne's leading the way as well there for Iroha. Troops sitting out there, so far otherwise fairly quiet. Standard openings from both players. Doctor, of course, strict ground defense or watch special operations versus mechanized Recon support heavy cavalry. Also leads to show, say, fairly standard doctrinal choices. False traditions here. I mean, nothing's going to leave, most players shocked unless they're new to the game, in which case most things will be shocking to them. Good lord, fuel points. Good lord, grass. Cover. My lord, they didn't have this in StarCraft 2 back in 2010. My goodness, I'm getting the vapors. Anyways, Fulton moving forward there for Iroha. Third Fulton over there for Iroha as well. Third Rob squad almost down there for Orangepest. Sandbags level Eastern Fuel Point, clearly focusing on that one. Similarly, Orangepest is focusing on Eastern Fuel Point, and Basil is focusing on... I'm not entirely sure what he's focusing on. It's a bit hard to say here. I don't think it's the computer screen though. Here's moving forward, step bit of skirmish. Sturmpionier catching the M1 carbine there, sadly not quite matched. Too well matched the 500 Sturmgewehr infantry. Though interesting enough, the Americans did, by late 1944, have a fully automatic version of the M1 carbine, but it didn't have a large amount of numbers for it, so never really saw like any serious service there. They also had an infrared sniper version, a bit of a scope version for, say, sniper duties as well. Both of those versions probably some more action in the Korean War, I believe. Fourth, Fulton on the way there for Iroha. Pushing forward to the Fulton's jump on. Quick from a strong force to push to the centre here. Orangepest on the west side catching the Fultoners. A lot of sandbags there being laid down and apparently never finished. You got the Fulton for the Ralph's Court here. You got Ralph's Court playing up behind here. Iroha. Sturmpioniers moving in there, clearing up the Ralph's Court there. Oh no, you don't, Basil. You stay right there so you don't cause me problems right now, you silly cat. Anyways, pushing forward there with the infantry, a large lump of troops there, relying on the standard Oberkommandist tactic of get a bunch of guys together and shoot them, which is kind of the American standard kind of tactic also, which is get a bunch of guys together and shoot the other guys. In this regard, the Oberkommandist and the Americans do tend to work slightly on the same lines, except the Oberkommandist can usually get the slight advantage in the early game. Lots of infantry there from Iroha, track on the way there. Guessing battle headquarters could be mechanized. Meanwhile, we've got tech there for Orangepest. I imagine this is the lieutenant, the standard choice there for Americans in most places, except Wisconsin and southern Oklahoma. Fulton forces straight against formations there. I know decide which side of the car he wants to be in. It's a bit awkward. They're like, on both sides of it. It looks a bit confusing to me, to be honest. Just swinging forward here, Ralph's Court's engaging, folks being slowly overwhelmed, but still. And right now, Iroha's got most of the map here away from Orangepest, really good map control there, which is great for Iroha, but obviously a bit of an issue there for Orangepest. A bit of an issue. The one he does seem to find resolved there, with one infantry being lobbed at the crouch until they concede the ground to the Yankees. Mechanized right there for Iroha, certainly with a big open map like Amilly Fields. Light vehicles that looks like the Puma will be quite good to maneuver about there. And certainly Orangepest could also be, incentivized to further go for Stuart, though most American players will go for the Stuart, but certainly, other stuff could happen there. Going for the cut point there, very good. Cutting off the Western Fuel. Huh. That feels certainly a bit punishing for Iroha. They went for that one rather than that one, since, you know, that's a fairly easy cut-off point for the opponent, unless there's a small corridor there. Yep, there's a small corridor. Fair enough, fair enough. Just looked like it was almost cut off there. It has definitely got to be like one of the weirdest setups here. And his troops setting out. There we go. Lieutenant against the Volkskandidates. Big push there for Iroha, moving in to defend sacred territory of the Reich against the armies. 50 California at the far Orangepest. Subsequent choice was all the infantry. We got the other Volkskandidates eastwards. Might try and hit their Orangepest fuel point. Big push here. Might want to use a bit of cover, but again, relying just largely on raw force here versus Orangepest, which of course can then be hard countered by the 50 caliber Orangepest. There's still a lot of fire here. Storm being focused down. Folks pushing gold towards the heavy cover. Ralph Scorpion trying to get into before that, but they might back from North. Got the swaps up here. So right here, Orangepest attempt to counter this is actually now punished by being out in the open versus a lot of Germans with assault rifles and K-90Ks, which of course means a lot of firepower than Orangepest infantry. Plus they can't get themselves hurt bad by the other squad there. So really turning out here for Orangepest. His forces routed as Iroha keeps up the momentum, keeps up the assault here. Folks then moving eastwards there. We'll have to see, but looks like, well, I'm not entirely sure what it looks like. They could be the looks good with the Puma from Iroha. Both are very much the options. Got the Western Fuel Point, can of course be cut off by hitting that car point, which actually cuts it off for Orangepest then. 5th gal on the way there by Orangepest. Grab the eastern point. Apparently resource points allocations of territories were handled by Picasso, his nephew, grandnephew, Albonio Picasso. Don't ask me why they named him Albonio. Anyways, push here. Big push, pushing back there Iroha's forces. Grab the eastern point there, very good. Looks like he is planning a Puma. Yes, indeed, the 234-2 ambulance out for Orangepest. Obviously, not a response to the Puma, just there to provide healing and reinforcement for his troops. Against the Puma, the ambulance will fare, well, about as well as a fried piece of chicken will fare against my cat. Pushing straight for the eastern fuel point there, victory point. That's obviously not a fuel point unless you're blind or like me, talking too fast and working a bit in some cases, you know, on memory almost. I've got something you should see if I can engage there. Skirmishing, full squad retreating. Good response there, but obviously if they tried to stick around, they would have gotten murdered quite aggressively. Pushing westwards again. Lot of band 40 so far between Iroha and Orangepest. Moving forward for the Puma. Valve squad right here in the centre, met with a torrent of assault rifle fire there. Orangepest makes the wisest decision and backs off with his men rather than get them needlessly shot.
Greyhound, ready for action. M8. A capture point is being overrun.
Got the Greyhound out there for Orangepest, and you got Recon support. Interesting choice to go for the Greyhound in immediate response to the Puma. I mean, the Greyhound doesn't perform well against it. I mean, it's not as bad as the ambulance against the Puma, obviously, which again is a very, very lopsided engagement. But, yeah, no. He's also not grabbing the bazookas when they're right next to him. It's almost like something out of a horror movie, like, you know, they're just flailing about and just failing to, like, grab the very obvious weapon that could deal with a big, nasty thing.
All done over here. Jumping off, fellas. 50 cal mounted and ready. Man out.
Fixing up the Puma, fixing up the Greyhound, just like the bazookas there. Goddamn, if only we had some sort of anti-tank weapon of the handheld kind in our base. Some sort of, I don't know, let's call it a bazooka, named after a musical instrument that could somehow propel a rocket at the enemy vehicle. If only we had that, we would be safe from the Puma. Pulling around there for Iroha. Going for the captain to get an anti-tank, and alas, we do not have such a device, so we'll have to summon the captain so he can call in some anti-tank guns. If only we had some handheld anti-tank weapons. In terms of the machine gun, they're flanking. Very good move there by Orangepest. Clearly a bit of aggressive recon paid off nice. We've got Puma to assist. Could maybe get the gun here before it gets fire off there. Big infantry move there. The good panic Orangepest. Nasty aggressive reconnaissance flank here. And push him back. Bring up two route squads. Got Lamps or BAR with the route squad up there. Graham on the move. Captain has a route squad here, getting the BA on that chap as well. I'm guessing we're seeing the anti-tank gun any moment now. Iroha still has Polygon for the auction here. Sending a bit of a standout moment. Sending a route squad being checked with the full scanners, Puma supporting. Yep, anti-tank in there for Orangepest.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And we got Iroha gun here for special operations. Sonderunternehmen. I guess that'd be German for it. I'm sure they have another name for it that's even longer. And this abbreviates as Sonntag. Anyways. That features radio silence, infiltration tactics, info assault rifles, flares, and command Panthers as great tactics, Pathfinders, airdrop cover group to the ground as we've seen there, splash the bombs. Captain right here with a Puma fucking shot bits out in the open here. Falling a bit short against all the BARs, now being well there by Orangepest. A little bit, not well. Falls to the lieutenant. Back catch reinforcing healing, sometimes we won't go for any arm. In this regard, Iroha's doing quite a good work there, of course, control the fuel flow. We'll be following up here with another truck, probably the Strap Panther Quarters. We shall see what he does with that. Good maneuver, of course, be to push for a fast Panther 4. Less good, we try to stop out for something big, I think, here by Iroha. Also good if Iroha would be to lay down some mines here and there versus Orangepest, I think. And to tank in there, shadowing the sandbags of Iroha's full Scandiers. Moving forwards, east side there we got Rough Squad Ministers there. In the west we got recent forwards there. Truck out there for Iroha. Die schwere Wehrmachtschlepper. Moving forwards. Yep, Schwerpunkt quarters set up in a fairly, well, not too exposed position. It's going to take a bit of effort there from Orangepest to get to it. Got radio sounds on the way there. Almost got the reactions there. Almost got them. I mean, obviously not going to be a huge kill, but still getting rid of them does create some issues there for Orangepest. Gotta be careful down to the tank, and obviously could quickly take out the Puma if Iroha's not careful and send him before there was the Stuart Greyhound. Stuart.
We're losing a capture point.
So he has gone for the mechanized command post there, then went for the ground anyways. That feels a bit awkward. Basically wasted reason when they also went for the captain. I mean, they might still go for something else, but you can end up just doing nothing and being a waste of resources. Fifth cut number 2 there, or is it the first one actually? Should being blasted here. Radio silence, of course. But besides just, hiding units on the minimap and the tactical map here for a brief while, it also makes the infantry move faster. That's the part that's generally always worked. The other part can be either incredibly effective or useless depending on the type of player. Some players get absolutely freaked out and suddenly can't rely on the tactical map and the minimap, pay attention there. Whereas again, others is like, what are you doing, mate? Just, keeping your hands or your eyes is not going to make, impossible to see you. That's the sort of thing there. Brand after pushing too far in there, getting hammered by the Scrap Hunt Wolves and the Puma here. Down it goes, a stinging blow there to Orangepest. Almost got the Puma though, but again, can't quite finish it off. They can't quite finish it off. And he's still some time away from any kind of armor. Meanwhile, Iroha at this rate is going to push out a Panther here faster than Orangepest. Is it the current rate of affairs? Got grenades at Orangepest, some frag grenades. Fifth kill entertaining up there for Orangepest for Freedom Democracy, sitting up behind the wreckage of the Greyhound. Welcome straight to the fifth kill, meeting Express, got the open force of the light machine guns. Worth noting, he did not go for the assault rifle, that'd be a great pick there, but certainly our way, again, really good. Our way sitting here with the overside and the radio silence, just allowed to move faster, catches Orangepest in a really bad spot and forces a full retreat here. Really good push there by Iroha. But again, all of a sudden with infrastructure assault rifles would have been much better with it. It's just better. Perhaps not much better, but would have been better with it. Lieutenant Radu there. Very good, very good. Basil Barway seconds the idea of needing assault rifles on the Obersoldaten. He says it's cost efficient and again works much better with the radio silence. Can also be used to negate part of the card bonus for the opponents. So really again suits Iroha's Urbal's tactical style well, much better in Basil's opinion. Grabbing the point there. Almost got the rifle score there. Got the Major on the way for Orangepest finally, though of course going to be some time getting the armor out. That said, perhaps not surprised he's getting 39 at the moment versus the opponent's 13. That's a 3 times fuel difference per minute, which certainly means he can quickly perhaps set up for Sherman there. But obviously that's going to last so long there since Iroha is quite keen on treating his opponents which refer to the like kind of Iroha. Perhaps starting to sense that the tide is starting to turn against him, and so might figure he needs some anti-tank guns to help deal with the American tanks that's soon going to hit him. More was on there for Iroha. So good, so good. That said, it does push him into a rather extreme amount of infantry with 7 infantry squads, which feels a bit excessive for me. Bit excessive. But getting a whack with the MD-34 there with a grenade does, I suppose, lessen the burden that. But still, I feel like he's got a bit too much infantry. I mean, 2% squads is not bad, but he's already got like 4 full squads plus the Sturm Pioneers. Again, it might prove to be a bit too much here for Iroha to handle, because once a tank arrives, and starts perhaps bleeding out his infantry, could become a big problem there for Iroha. So not quite a fan of that. Also, very consistent use of radio silence here. Thumbs up to that. And again, really works well with units with assault rifles, and again you're making them move faster, of course, just means you closer in there with assault rifles, and so on. So that way, really good. Got the anti-tank, and that's a stinging blow there to Orangepest. And stinging blow. Definitely a problem there for Orangepest, and Basil agrees this is the most concerning development for Orangepest. Except with the loss of the 5th cal as well here. And it's going to be a bit tougher now for Orangepest run, but he does have the ability to rush out a tank now, but yeah, not great. 5th cal number 2 getting wrecked as well. Oh, there's an MD for the Jackson Steel there. Port's in there to further try and disrupt the Germans, and 5th cal destroyed. Recon trying the. I think it's okay now for somewhere. Oh yeah, it is. It's really okay. Anyway, showing away the Orangepest, but definitely some heavy losses. Losses 5th cal, losses anti-tank gun. The only really fear for Orangepest is that Iroha wasn't able to run away with it. Still losing that much importance that amount of time is definitely a bit problematic. Does seem like he's a big light machine gun man there, Mr. Iroha. No assault rifles in the other squad. Basil finds that most concerning. Most concerning. Of course, it's not just because it's a cat he favors assault rifles naturally, as they do fit the cat's predatory nature much more easily. Basil's playing the Puma, that's very nice over there, except for one tiny flaw, he doesn't have the munitions for it. But otherwise, nice setup. It might also like, try and focus a bit more on the east side. He's definitely not doing a great job actually showing fuel advantage now, and this is great for Orangepest, who now has the tank up first, and will not be too far off from another tank. You got 452 versus 351. Oops, sorry about that. Obviously, moving forwards there. Focusing towards the 7 there. We got another radius silence push here. It has certainly favoring aggressive tactics. And the West moving up there. Again, Orangepest certainly favoring disruptive tactics. And there goes Sherman straight in. Punishing Iroha definitely for a bit too far aggressive push here. Definitely expect to get hit there. Main gun out. This is pretty big. Even risk getting Panther fasted to hell and back. They won't be able to finish off the ship and get rid of the Puma. This is going to be huge. There we go. Great stuff there. switching attack those around as well. Very good infantry to really hammer Iroha's infantry. This is a great run for Orangepest. Great. Though, of course, there's still the issue of the cannon effort, but still, just hammering the infantry to death here is fairly good. Can, of course, just smoke the approximate area of the cannon effort. There we go. Of course, putting wiped out. Really heavy losses here for Iroha. Lost the Pullman is losing a bunch of infantry, though no wipes. We're doing great for Orange, of course, would have wiped the Orbs Land smoke, but there we go. Moving forward through the smoke, infantry to contest that. 8 kills from the Sherman. That has been a fairly good engagement there for Orangepest, since in the end Iroha lost the Puma, took heavy infantry losses. Really only just damaged the Sherman, was going to be repaired away, so even the damage that Iroha did was of considerably less value. And meanwhile, even then, we got the major ground points on the far left that further denying territory for Iroha. So this has not been a great engagement for Iroha at all. Not a great engagement. He's definitely getting a bit too addicted to swamp tactics and less, keen on, greater tactics and strategy, which just makes it easy for Orangepest to just gain full map control as Iroha. So Iroha definitely needs to switch gears here soon and start focusing more on the broader map and denying resources to Orangepest, because at the current rate of acquisition of fuel, Orangepest is definitely just set on the path she's getting out a lot of tanks, whereas Iroha's going to be not getting a lot of tanks at all. Which currently, the look battle scheme, he tells me he's very concerned about that. Very concerned. But if like Kevin the Shamp needs to defend the Shia Punch quarters, losing that could be quite devastating for Iroha. Now the really silence push again, he's heavily relying on these swamp tactics. Definitely flow heavily into blobs. Cluster bombs pulling to try and disrupt and counter that. Very good play there for Orangepest. The radio sunset alarm somewhat to dodge it. Got the entertainment again. Returning a bit of trouble. Positive suppressed to the 5th, empty for the 4th. Got the catapult finally out here for Iroha. Clear out the entertainment, that's looking a bit tougher here for Orangepest to then deal with. Got it, fortunately annihilated. In fact, they're going to get wiped again. Issue with manning too much infantry, you can get up these issues, you easily lose track of some of the infantry scores during all the fighting. And to take roughing out for the Panda 4, won't damage the engine, but at least getting some chip damage. Machine then being hammered, we got lots of them attacking head on, again he's just relying on sheer numbers and volume. Oh, well, machine gun there as well, very good. Like Basil is off to new horizons. All the new ways to bug me. Got machine there, pretty good kill for Iroha. But again, as you might notice, even the guy like he's pushing back, Orangepest getting some kills. He's not really getting the rest of the map though. So again, while he's doing damage again, this is actually important. I mean, without an armor, you can't really fight. Though again, Orangepest, the rest of it is just already pulling towards another Sherman. And Iroha's not really pulling towards any tanks fast. In fact, at this rate, he can then follow up soon with a 3rd Sherman. At which point, it's going to be a significant arm advantage for Iroha. So while it's definitely great that Iroha's focusing on this one part, which is destroying his opponent's forces, he does need to keep the larger perspective in mind, and again, denies opponent fuel, because otherwise, A, he doesn't get a lot of fuel, but also his opponent's going to get a lot of tanks. The good play there by Orangepest so far, exploiting it. Iroha has, I would say, very narrow focus on just the annihilation of Orangepest center, and again neglecting resources, particular fuel. Swimming west was there. Need to be careful here though. Said he's also been using the 90 number of tanks, now it's going to operate the more aggressively in the field, so hit more exposed points of Iroha. Again, good play there by Orangepest. He's definitely understanding some of the parameters of the match here, the rules of engagement, if you will, and he used them, I think, to effectively whittle down Iroha and again pull his advantage, which is clearly going to be tanks. So thumbs up there to Orangepest. Again, Iroha, meanwhile, again just seems to struggle with this. So yeah, third Sherman on the way for Orangepest again, just leveraging the better map control intersection. Seems like Iroha's making the greater attacks with infantry and just really hitting Orangepest infantry support weapons. If we can just get out in our tanks, it won't matter because the tanks will then just decimate Iroha's infantry, and without insufficient support where they can be, wiped out. That said, Iroha's bring up multiple anti-tank, but at the same time they can't easily keep pace with the infantry, so even then there's some risk there for Iroha, and again it will constrain Iroha's overall strategy and tactics. Going on the center of the major, third on the way there. Orangepest could do with a bit more infantry, but then again I think just going for more tanks at this point isn't again just bad at all. But there you go, again attacking, so even like Iroha again pushes the mass force up, they're backing up the anti-tank guns. Orangepest just looks for another weak spot, hits that. In this case that'll be the strap punch quarters and calling it on it, finishing off, and that way making it harder for Iroha to bring in more armor. So good play there by Orangepest, good play again, looking for ways to exploit and punish Iroha's strategy, and then executing quite well. Grenade off to further losses. Folks being hammered in the west, troops routed as well. More grenades off the opposite guard here, further casualties. Drive got being pushed back, showing the better top of all the anti-tank guns, so I think be careful. Main gun up, one Sherman to get that space, pencil those forwards there, combat blitz, thumbs up the Jira, very good, very good. Sherman over here flanking all the anti-tank guns, could be big from the Jira, shot fired, missed. Pen focusing the Sherman. Other Sherman just engaging in front of all the anti-tank guns and realising they didn't have high explosive rounds loaded, so he can't easily clear them out. North here, Panther will keep pursuing the Sherman. Got the opposite behind here, but using the train to just trying to disengage, in this case wasn't fast enough to evade the plan before. Fix up the Sherman there, other Sherman repairs. In the south, we've got the Major versus all the anti-tank weapons. Catching the forces out in the open, quickly routing them. And we got an airdrop coming group here for Orangepest, meaning paratroopers and the tank howitzer.
Command has authorized the use of radio silence.
Of course, now can either go for another point T and disrupt that, or we can start retreating. Also a good move, I guess. Sham's being fixed up. Still need to fix up the main gun as well. Got the anti-tank gun there. I'll pack howitzer, and we got the paratroopers dropping down there, right next to the ambulance. Oh no! It's the Great Paratrooper Squirrel Massacre of 1944. They land too close to the tree line. This is headquarters at front line. Baker Squirrel is dead by squirrel. Oh god. Yeah, we got a squirrel infestation in the base. Holy crap, though. I was like, aren't they lying down for too long? Aren't they supposed to get out? I was like, oh no. I mean, technically it's safer to drop to your base because, typically they won't drop into the tree line. There's, that. But apparently in this case, with the airdrop combat group, that didn't quite happen. I mean, someone's getting medals in that area. Someone's getting medals, but I don't think they're American medals. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm ahead. Go, go, Baker Squad, Screaming Eagles, go. Oh no, not, oh no. How am I going to explain this to Eisenhower? The West East Sherman engaging the Fox, Captain backing it up.
Sherman ready to go.
Got the Spion Pioneers, the Fox all coming up. They all managed to grab a BAR there. They grenade in the midst of the horde. Sherman shoots, misses. You got 272, still 92. Jumping forward, taking extra tank weapons. Shots bouncing. Shots reinforcing healing. Interesting enough, not granting the suit. They can seem to sustain munitions for the artillery strikes. Guess he'll go for another Sherman soon. He could also consider Jackson, I guess. What I don't think he's going to go for is another airdrop combat group. Just to sort of guess. Golf Squad Captain engaging the troops. Handful engaging. Major routed. Pack howitzer firing away. great pack out in the midst there of Iroha's infantry. Heavy losses. Obviously squad wiped out in the foot. They almost got the Orbs on as well here. Iroha's definitely trying to be quite aggressive. They've got Orbs on wiped out as well. This is down to get it awkward here now for Iroha. Orangepest setting up for an armor flanking with the Shermans. We clear out the anti-tank weapons though. That'd be huge there for Orangepest. That said, Iroha has 4 anti-tank weapons, which is definitely getting gun smoke. They've got from something, which is great. Almost got the Panther 4 here. Oh, no. Okay, we still got the anti-tank guns, but that means the infantry might close now to Orangepest infantry, and the pack cards will still be technically body stuff here. More smoke here from Orangepest, thumbs up. Lost a Sherman, but this is still a bit awkward here for Iroha. A bit awkward, they can't stop well, and again Orangepest well can. And again going for another Sherman, infantry still waiting for reinforcements and stuff. Iroha meanwhile they got another truck waiting, but apparently it's not clear what they want to set it up for. Also running in there, close to vets in your feet. Telephone raining down, full retreat for Iroha. Meaning the anti-tank guns are of course exposed, particularly the M1, he can grab it back. That's going to complicate things further here for Iroha. There's this Orangepest. And particularly with 2 tanks in the field. Maybe reinforcing. Swift moving forwards there for freedom and democracy. Battle Group Headquarters going to try and go for a King Tiger now. That could be a bit more risky there than Iroha I think is initially imagining.
Sherman ready.
Sherman's ready, groundless and fuel. Got the car fight back there. Both Sherman's good to go there for Orangepest. Iroha's force back in the base. They're getting moving once more, but again, starting to run up infantry. And if they want to go for the King Tiger, they can't easily replace the losses either. So again, like right now, Iroha's in a really bad place there. Again, the Shroud Panther Corps got punished. They're, you know, rather raw tactics there got punished as well, alongside weak map control, which is really, I think, just the main issue, just weak map control, despite doing great damage. Orangepest won't really translate into more ground. So from 40, charging straight ahead here, till he called in. Oh, cluster bombs right in the midst here of Iroha's forces. Support weapons in, going to get caught here. It's going to be devastating for Iroha. I think that might just be GG here. That is indeed GG. They're kind of being slaughtered. The machine guns, the anti-tank guns, everything is dead now. Orangepest in the end has secured victory, destroying Iroha's swarm tactics and utterly crashing them through good map control, good use of your ability, and well, let's just not mention Baker's squad, shall we? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, like, subscribe, share, press the bell button, all that stuff. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.